for coming out. We've got professional comedians ready to make you laugh. Don't forget to go get drinks. Please feel free to get up in the middle. Please laugh as loud as you want. I can tell you guys are loosening up, having fun. We are very excited. Your first comedian. He's newer to the scene, but he's lived all over the place. He was a member of the U.S. Air Force. So we are very excited. Please welcome to the stage your first comic, Will Frank.
Evening, everybody.
Hey.
So, last year, my wife and I, we moved up here from Utah. And I could definitely tell you that this place is as bad as all the Mormon friends warned us about. My God, this place is freaking terrible. Colorado is definitely the wild, wild west, but you know what? I like it here. I like it a lot. And you know, when we decided to move up here, we were bragging to all our friends about Colorado. We were talking about the mountains are so high and the sky is so blue and everybody's running around in their Birkenstocks and their cargo shorts. It's amazing. Good old Colorado, you know, the Centennial State, right? But after living here for a few months, I think that they ought to like change that slogan up a little bit. Because if you watch the news the way that I do every night, I think that, you know, they should change it to something that's more realistic, something that is more up to date. Something like Colorado, there's a lot of crime in this state. And I'm telling you right now, I know a lot about crime because I'm a criminal. Actually, I'm just playing. I'm a retired police officer. But the thing is, like I said, I moved up here from Utah, but I'm not originally from there. I just happened to spend the last decade of my life being held there against my will. A lot of people call it, you know, raising kids, but hey, you say tomato, I say tomato. And you know, I think about my kids and I'm just so happy that they're grown and they're out of the house. They took my hair with them, but hey, it's a win, you know. And I tell you though, my daughter was born in 1999 and my son was born in 2001. And you know, when I think about how they were raised, I can't help but feel a little bit guilty. Because I think about it that my kids were in that first generation where us parents, we got these electronic devices, shoved it in their face, and ignored them for 15 years straight. It made things really interesting when it was time to drive. You know, you got that awkward look at each other going on, and you're like, well, I guess we got to spend some time together, but you know, if you want to cut me out completely and take driver's ed, I'm fine with that too. Oh, and I tell you though, I'm not from Utah. I'm a Southern boy. I grew up in Florida. And if you've ever been there or watched the news for the past 20, 25 years, you know, Florida's a very interesting place to be. In fact, it's so wild and crazy that I basically ran away from there at 19 when I joined the Air Force. And even now, I don't go back often, and it pisses off my friends I went to high school with. And, you know, my family's all mad at me. And then my mom, you know how moms are, they like to guilt trip you and stuff. Just the other day, I was talking with my mom, and just out of the blue, she's like, well, I guess the only time I'm going to see you is when a relative dies. And I said, hold up, Mom. That's a little ambitious. Wait a minute now. I am not going to just spend money on tickets and a hotel and you know, a rental car just because a relative happened to die. It would have to be the right relative. And she goes, well, what does that mean? And I said, well, you know, somebody that I care about, somebody I talk to all the time, and somebody I'm actually going to miss when they die. And she goes, okay. And then she goes, well, what if it's the wrong relative? And I say, this is what I can do. I will send you guys a $10 Arby's gift certificate, and I'll make a really sad social media post. And so by now, my mom's starting to get pissed off. She goes, which relative am I? And you know what? I didn't tell her. I just hung up the phone and went about the rest of my day. Oh, but I tell you though, I turned 52 last Friday, and you know what? I feel great. I feel healthy. Thank you. Younger than ever. But I'll tell you though, you know, there was a time when I didn't feel so young and healthy. It was around the time I turned 50, and I started getting them fucking letters from AARP. Fuck those guys. And you know, I was ignoring the letters for months and everything, and then one day I was an idiot and I decided to open it up. I read the letter and they were talking about a bunch of stuff I didn't care about and asked me for some money, and I threw it away. You know what happened 48 hours later? I woke up, I had a bad back, a case of gout, and blurry vision. I'm on the phone with ARP and I'm going, what the fuck did you put in that letter? Seriously, what the fuck did you put in that letter? But I'll tell you another thing though that sucks when you're over 50 is going to the doctor. It's not like when you're 20 and you're 30 and it's a high five and you in and out of there in 5 minutes. No, you gotta go every 6 months, right? And the thing is, those are no longer appointments. Those are interrogations. The doctor, he might as well come in there with a rubber hose and dragging some jumper cables behind him. And then they get you naked and put you on that cold ass table and ask you all kinds of inappropriate questions while they shining a light in your eye. You know, are you taking your medication? Are you eating properly? Are you exercising? And you know, my response is always yes, kinda, and fuck you. But the one piece of advice that I did take, you know, from my doctor was I went and joined the gym. And let me tell you, that is the best value for your dollar today. I'm talking about that is prime entertainment. Because if you go to the gym enough, you'll notice there's 3 types of people that go. You got the very fit people, you got the wanna be fit people, and then you got the gym creeps, okay? Let me explain. So the fit people, you know, they come in there, they're all muscular and toned up. They probably been in the car oiling themselves up. And they usually come in the gym either half naked or dressed like a superhero. I mean, the other day I was on a treadmill and I had the Green Power Ranger next to me and Captain America to my right. I was protected. I was like, something go down, I was good. But then you got the other people in there, the wannabe fit people. They come in there and they're all kind of nervous and shy. They're uncomfortable in their bodies and uncomfortable with the equipment, and you know, they're working out shy and coy because they think that somebody's watching them. Well, guess what? We are, you know, because we were those people a year ago. That's it. And then you got the gym creeps, you know. They come in the gym in street clothes and they don't change. They're just walking around looking at everybody and stuff, and you're like, what are they doing here? And next thing you know, they go and disappear. 10 minutes later, you lock eyes with this weird motherfucker. He's on some apparatus, rubbing that one hard left nipple and wondering what your face tastes like. But I'll tell you though, you know, I'm 52 and I consider myself blessed because my parents are still alive, my parents are still together, and they still know what day of the week it is, which is amazing. Yeah. And my thing is, you know, I'm 52 and I'm 7 of 8 kids. So the thing is, my parents had me, they were old. I mean, in my opinion, they were too old to even be having kids. And sometimes I get a little nostalgic and I'll be flipping through a photo album and I'll look at pictures of my dad. And I'm like, wow, that's my dad. Strong black man and, you know, leader of the family, patriarch and all that. But then I also think that, you know, I was the product of one of my dad's last erections. Yeah, in November 1971, my dad had one of his last erections, and he looked at my mom, and bada bing, bada boom, I was born. And then, you know, I also start looking at in the photo album, and I look at pictures of my mom, and I say, oh, strong black woman, and she's been alive for decades, you know, and she even lived to see all her grandchildren go into adulthood. But then I also think that, you know what? She could give a master class on how to know the fuck out of somebody too. I'm talking about my mama called me up and we'll listen to each other breathe for 15 minutes and won't say shit. And I'll tell her I'm gonna go and we'll hang up. And you know what happens 3 minutes later? She calls me back and does the same thing all over again. Thank you.